No, really. What is going on here? And why am I wearing this dress?
What's up, guys? Drew Unit Gaming here, bringing you some hot, fresh Alisa action. Alisa is an upcoming survival horror game slated for mid-2021, but there's a pay as much as you feel is fair demo on itch.io. Alright, so let's get into this. Alisa does exactly what it aims to do. It aims to capture that 90s survival horror feel similar to Resident Evil, Alone in the Dark, and Silent Hill. However, this is both its strongest and weakest point. If that is the exact experience you are looking for, well, here it is. It's got puzzles, it's got the tank controls, it has the cheesy voice acting, but it doesn't bring much else to the table. In my experience with the demo, it purposefully doesn't bring anything else to the table. Since the 90s, horror games have gone through straight up oodles of improvements, whether that was change to the combat, all like Fatal Frame, where it maintains that tank control when you're moving around in the pre-rendered backgrounds, but also implements kind of a first-person shooter style combat system. Or you take on like Resident Evil 4, which brought about the renaissance of action horror with the third-person over-the-shoulder camera. There is a reason we left the tank controls back in the 90s, and we didn't need to go back to get that. But again, if you're looking for that one-to-one recreation of that exact era of horror game, this is the game for you. Well, let's break it down. First of all, sound. The game absolutely captures the sound of the era it is trying to create. It has that 90s kind of like clutter to the sound, where we had just moved from the MIDI sounds of the 32-bit era to that like heavily compressed 64-bit sound, which still was a huge improvement, but it still felt kind of gritty. The voice acting has that bad mic sound, which is ironic because at least in some of my videos I also had that bad mic sound that we all remember wincing at in things like Symphony of the Night and the original Resident Evil. With that being said, it doesn't falter at all with the sound quality. It nails that 90s era sound. And because of that, I do have to give it a 10 out of 10. Alright, let's move on to graphics. Again, this game is doing exactly what it is trying to do with the art style. It's trying to capture that early to mid-90s survival horror feel, where Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Alone in the Dark took the pre-rendered backgrounds and had you moving through them. It nails it. It just absolutely nails it. And it does have an odd bit of charm to it that makes it feel kind of Alice in Wonderland. I mean, they nailed it. They nailed exactly what they're going for. Again, this is a 10 out of 10. Then, of course, my final category is twofold. Fun and gameplay. And this is where I have to give two different scores. Is the game fun? Sure. By today's standards, it's a huge okay. The big takeaway are actually the puzzles in the game. They are well designed. They're well thought out, and they're genuinely great. They're genuinely great puzzles. But as I stated earlier, it doesn't improve on anything where it could have. Using pre-rendered backgrounds doesn't mean they have to use the tank controls. They could have done something a la like Final Fantasy VII, which also had pre-rendered backgrounds. I mean, all the Final Fantasy games from that era had the pre-rendered backgrounds, but you had more freedom in your movement, which was just a massive improvement over that control style. So, on the other hand though, if the game is trying to recreate that exact feeling, and it does it perfectly to a T, it nails it. It nails the tank controls. It nails that feeling you had when you played the original Resident Evil, but we have moved past that. So for me, and my personal takeaway, it's honestly a 3 out of 10. It falters here on the fun and gameplay. But if this is exactly what you're looking for in a game right now, and you want to just recreate and re-feel that feeling and era of horror, well, then it is absolutely a 10 out of 10. it does it. It does exactly what it's meant to do. All in all, this game for me, it takes me back to the days of playing the original Resident Evil and Alone in the Dark, which is awesome until you remember how far we've gone with gaming and even just the horror genre. But if you never got to experience that 90s feel and you want to know exactly what it feels like, it's there. This game is there for you. It will give you that feeling, and that's exactly what it's aiming to do. This is kind of strange to say, but if you are looking for that feeling, then I absolutely recommend this game. I emphatically recommend this game. If you're looking for a good survival horror game, though, maybe look a little bit elsewhere. This game doesn't really expand upon the ideas that it's laying out. It doesn't try to. It doesn't want to. And that's perfectly fine. Right now, again, it's free on itch.io. It's a pay whatever you feel is fair. The dev absolutely deserves recognition, though. They absolutely nailed it. I'm just not huge on this one, though. Anyway, that's where we are with Alisa. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Let's get through 2020 together. Stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.